No. Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Money, Sex, and Kids, where money doesn't have to be the biggest fight in a marriage.
No.
Sex should happen every single day for the rest of your life.
Maybe not every single day.
And kids, we're still figuring it out, all right?
Still
we're not
trying.
Professionals, we're still figuring it out.
No.
I felt pretty good. Thank you for letting me do that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to let you have a little more time.
Yeah.
All right, so we are talking about dating, and we did that episode recently about dating your spouse and how we really try to be intentional with that. We fall short sometimes, but this idea came from two good friends of ours that I think really model marriage the way we want our marriage to be.
So Tony and Alisa DiLorenzo, they've had a podcast called the One Extraordinary Marriage Podcast for over 11 years. So think about it. No one was listening to podcasts 11 years ago. So they're one of the first people to implement a marriage, strictly marriage, and they talk heavily on the sex, which I like, but she's like, oh my gosh, it's a little crazy.
No, but I love their transparency, and I love how they're so able to just share it all. But they really model marriage in such a loving, wonderful way, and they give us so many great takeaways. And so you had them on the Money Peach podcast,
we did,
which you invited me on, so the four of us could have this great conversation about marriage and money. But they're just a really great couple. So we'll make sure, obviously, in this show, in the description, to link you up with their podcast so you can learn more about them. But they gave us this idea, and it's so simple yet so effective. And so we are going to share it with you, but of course giving them all the credit, but they really inspired us to do this. And basically what they say, okay, so we know dating your spouse, you've got to be super intentional about it, right? Like you date them to then eventually lead to marriage. Then once you marry them, why would you ever stop dating them, right? They're your one and only, and you have to pour into them in order for this to continue to thrive.
I think what happens is when we're dating, we want to earn their love. So we earn their love by being intentional about dating. And then once you're married, it's like, well, it's automatic now. I don't have to put in as much effort. And that is completely false. I mean, we know the divorce rates are, close to 50%, and almost every couple out there fights in a marriage, right?
Exactly.
I mean, there's no way around it. So how do we minimize those fights? How do we, stay married? And so we're not experts, but we have friends and family members that are been married 40 plus years. And so one of the things they've mentioned to us is always date your spouse. I remember we were at a wedding, and they did that thing where the couples go out there on the dance floor, and if you've been married 5 years or longer, stay out there. And then 10, 20, 30. And they had a couple, they were married over 50 years. And so they had asked them, they said, what is the secret to being married 50 plus years in today's world? And they said, never stop dating your hottie. That's what they always said. I love that. I was like, that's amazing.
I love that too. And it takes practice. It takes work, right? You got to be really mindful of always putting them first, right, in your life. And we get it. Life is busy and it gets harder, but it gets fun if you've got a method to dating, okay? And so Tony and Alisa do this exercise. They hold marriage conferences often throughout the year. And so one of the things they do is they say to the married couple, okay, so me, Andrea, you write down your top 10 date ideas. Chris, you write down your top 10 date ideas. And then you swap papers, okay? And then these are sure bets, okay? These are slam dunk date ideas that she's going to love because she gave them to you.
Yep.
Now all you have to do is execute them. And so that's exactly what we did. So today we're going to share our top 10 date ideas. You have your own, but sometimes I love hearing other people's ideas because it's something I didn't think of, and I add it to our list.
So ironically, before we hit record on this, is Andrea had typed out her top 10. And then I took the paper and I folded it.
Okay.
So I didn't see her top 10, and I wrote down my top 10. So I purposely didn't look at her top 10 ideas. She didn't look at my top 10 ideas. So we're gonna literally share these with you but we're seeing it for the first time too. So let's start off with Andrea, because girls go first.
Okay.
So here's Andrea's top 10 date ideas that she would be giving to me.
Okay. And here, going back, and we'll make sure we link the episode when we talked about dating your spouse. And remember when we talked about in that episode, if you didn't see it, we talked about how we set 2 up a month. Okay.
Yep.
So if you think about it, here's 10, right? Think how long that's going to last you. If you have 10 ideas right here, the work's been done for you. Now you just have to plan them. Okay, you just have to put them on the calendar. So you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Tell my.
So here's Andrea's right here. Number 1.
Okay, wine date on the patio. Easy, simple.
Okay.
Coffee early in the morning together.
Okay.
Okay. Happy hour anywhere. Just take me anywhere for happy hour. I'm happy as a lark.
Okay.
Wine tasting. Specifically, I love local, and one of my favorites is Cottonwood.
Very ironic.
So if you're from the Phoenix area or Arizona, Cottonwood, put that on your list. Staycation, summertime here, best bang for your buck. And I love going away for a weekend, even if it's just 20 miles down the street at a resort.
But you like the resort stuff, right?
I love a great resort. Pedicure together, not just for me, together.
I'm not against it, guys. I'm not.
He did it
I
once.
used to be against it, and I did it one time, and I will tell you this, I have yet to meet a single man who said, you know what, I'm going to go try this pedicure thing, and it wasn't like, wow.
I mean, somebody's rubbing your feet. Come on.
Pretty amazing.
And ladies, you don't have to be the one
have to
rubbing
get nail
his
polish,
feet.
guys.
No,
That was
no.
my misconception. Oops. Okay.
You didn't get him painted.
No, but I thought like,
Yeah, he was so worried. He's like,
I'm not letting them paint my nails.
No,
It's
he
ridiculous.
goes, can I just get clear? I'm like,
No,
you
I
don't
didn't say
even need
that.
to get clear.
I did not
Yes,
say
you
that.
did. Yes, you did.
All right,
Yeah,
whatever.
you did.
Absolutely.
Okay, yes, you did. Live music anywhere. You know, on a random middle of the week, find live music at some bar or restaurant. A hike together.
Very ironic.
I love to hike together. Okay, nerd alert, a seminar together. A marriage
Very
class,
ironic.
a self-development, personal development class. I love when we do that together. Okay, this is something we don't do, but I always have it on my list. We don't do this, so cooking class, a cooking class together. Okay, those are my 10.
Okay, so here are my 10 that I would
Okay.
give to Andrea.
I don't know these yet.
Some of them are going to be repeated. So number 1 was hiking date.
Yes.
So that's something we both like doing. Number 2 was a road trip to a diner.
Oh, we did this once a long time ago.
I love looking at like these small little towns. We live in Arizona, so small little towns in Arizona that maybe are a 2-hour drive, and going to a little hole-in-the-wall diner in these tiny little towns, and then leaving, right? Just eating and then coming home. But the reason why I like it so much is the drive there and the drive back, we get that time together.
We get to talk. And by the way, we did do this. This was a while ago. We need to do that again. It was a little diner in Yarnell, Arizona.
Yep, we did.
And it's a great scenic drive too if you're local.
Camping in a tent. I know that she would hate that, but I would love that.
Can we do it in the backyard?
So camping in a tent, outdoors.
Okay.
Remember,
we have to do what you want to do, because we're switching. So
Sure.
I get it. Okay.
Number 4
Okay.
is never been to restaurants. So what I like doing
like
is
that.
there's so many great chain restaurants, or there's so many great like very hip hop restaurants. I like going to the ones that you walk up to and you're like,
Should
oh
I
my
eat
gosh,
here?
should I eat there? And then you like go there and it's like one of these little hidden gems, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, it's our place. I love that kind of stuff. Hot air balloon ride. I've never done one.
I've never done one either. That's a good one.
Bed and breakfast.
Oh, I love B&Bs.
I love little
yeah.
B&Bs. So seminar for personal development.
Look at that.
Very similar. Yeah, we do like doing something like that. A day at the lake, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Summertime.
Yeah.
Okay. Wine tasting here in Arizona. Wow, ironic.
We like
And
wine.
then I love turnaround trips. And so like when I say a turnaround trip, it's something crazy like we leave the house at 5 in the morning and we hop a plane and we go to Santa Barbara for the day. And then we fly home the same day or something like that, or maybe the next morning. So
I like that
those
idea
would be
too.
my top 10. So now that I've given her, here's 10 date ideas that I would like to do. Here's 10 that she gives to me. Holy crap, does that make planning so much easier? Because I think what happens, and this is us, we'll say this is us, is we get in the, I want to say a rut, because we're being intentional with our dating, but we get in the same thing of dinner and a movie.
Yeah, or
Dinner
not even.
and a movie.
Yeah.
Or dinner, and we say we go to a movie and we get tired and we go home and watch a movie in bed and fall asleep. And it just becomes repetitive,
Too routine.
routine. So now there's 10 different things that we can do.
Which again, we don't do all of these in a month, right?
No.
That's why I said something like this with 10 ideas. If you do 2 a month, that lasts you 5 months.
And going back to the date your spouse, that episode, we talk about, we like to surprise each other too. So, I might not tell her about, it'd be camping. I might not tell her that we're going for a pedicure. We might just show up.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, she might, go find a hole-in-the-wall restaurant sometime and just not tell me where we're going until we pull up into the parking lot. Something fun like that. Because that's part of the date experience, is not just, what you're doing. It's the element of surprise.
Yes, exactly. So again, just throwing these ideas out there, because I think sometimes, because like you said, we get stuck in our own mind, our own routine. And so when we hear what others are doing, sometimes it just helps spark that imagination again and that creativity. And then it gets exciting again. And that's really what it's about, to keep it exciting, keep it fun, keep it spontaneous. And that's why we love friends like Alisa and Tony, and especially our friends that have been married for a long time, because they really give us something to model and something for us to look up to. And when you find those kind of people in your life, hold them close and really take notice to what they're doing, because they're usually doing something right if the marriage is working so wonderfully. So with that said, we will link all of these things that we talked about on the description of the show. And we so appreciate you guys always coming back and spending time with us and listening to us sometimes ramble and sometimes rant and sometimes, share. Obviously, we just want to share good content in hopes of all of us learning something and just continuing to be better versions of ourselves, spouses, parents, and just people in general. And you can find us always here. We love when you comment. We love when you share. So if this is something you want to send to somebody, there's a little share button. You can share away. You can find us on all the social media platforms. And we'd love to be active there with all of you. And we just are super grateful for you.
Hit subscribe.
Yep.
That way every Monday, Wednesday, Friday when we release an episode, you're the first to know about it. So if you're listening to it in a podcast app or on your YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified. And then for guys, just a little takeaway here. From experience, I will tell you this. If you start implementing some of these things that we talk about, you will get more sex. It's just the way it works.
Which he likes to refer to as crossing the finish line. So.
Yeah. And
there you go.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So there's an 11th one that I didn't tell you about.
What is it?
It involves us going to maybe...
No, I'm never going there ever. So no, sorry.
That's
No, it's never going to happen.